Hello, and welcome to the Daily Digestion channel. And we are doing another book review. This is called Down There, Sexual and Reproductive Health, The Wise Woman Way by Susun S. Weed. Guys, when I had my bicycle wreck, I had actually purchased this book before I had my bicycle wreck and I prolapsed my organs. And it just so happened that there was a whole section in this book on prolapsus. This really has just about every type of dysfunction that a woman or man could experience within their body, especially down there, which is, in the lower abdomen area or pelvic floor area, urinary tract area. Guys, when I had my bicycle wreck, I had trouble with my body parts, like my bladder, my colon. Everything collapsed on one side of my body. And so literally where my injury was, I had a lot of soft tissue damage and I had a dysfunction in my muscles, and my pelvic floor snapped on the left side of my body, and all of my organs fell into the lower quadrant of my body, and it caused intestinal problems. It caused problems with digestion. It caused problems with going to the bathroom. It caused problems with my bladder. And guys, there is just to give you a little sneak peek, there is a whole chapter devoted to bladder dysfunction in this book. And it shows you like how to empty your bladder out completely. Like, she gives you tricks and tips on how to do it. And the way she actually, what I really admire about this book was when I went into the nursing program, we learned this protocol and how to, it's almost kind of like the scientific method in a way of how you deal with trauma care. And what it does is you don't do anything. You don't do anything. You basically just stop, drop, and pray. And long story short, that's a little joke for some of you guys who've watched some of my previous videos, but you don't do anything. You stop and you analyze the situation. You kind of think before, you don't act out of panic. A lot of times we do more harm than good when we react to stress from our bodies and our environment. And so the first thing you want to do is don't do anything at all, but analyze the situation. And that's what I really like about this. But here's she talks about the anatomy. But then for people who want to go straight in and start doing some of the things that she recommends, she just has it laid out there to where you can start, really going at it. She tells you the herbs to use. She tells you exercise. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of an example here, let's say you had urinary retention. Okay, which you never know, it can happen. And so what she does is, this is just a little sneak peek. It says, frightened rabbits won't give birth. Frightened people hold things to their pelvises too, things that hurt, that are traumatic. Grandmother Growth speaks with force, but her voice is kind. Your task, my spirit child, is to find a physical and mental place where you can feel safe enough to let it all go, where you can let loose. Letting loose on the right track. Shall we catch the train? Okay, so, basically, guys, it's how our body works. And I like how she'll start out each little chapter with something like this, and it just kind of, it's like, I don't know where she gets this stuff, but then she goes into the step 1, which is to do nothing. Oops, that's a problem. Seriously, though, relaxing deeply can open the valves. If it doesn't, there may be an obstruction. She goes into these very realistic and matter-of-factly. It's not a bunch of hoodoo, woo-woo stuff. It's all very scientific. And this woman that wrote this book, she runs a actual retreat center. She helps a lot of women. She's helped thousands of women. And she is a very well-known person in the natural healing arena. Step 1, collect information. And she tells you that what urinary retention is caused by swollen prostate gland. On page 55, there's more information about the anatomy and physiology. It could be a phobia, page 53, trauma, surgery, or an obstruction. Obstruction is an emergency. Catheterization can be life-saving. On the way to the hospital, take parsley root tincture. Step 2, engage the energy. Homeopathic stigmata zea maize is specific for relieving retained suppressed urine. And that might be something you'll want to look up and research, To trigger release, put a warm, wet washcloth on the urethra, put your hand under warm running water, and listen to water. Step 3, nourish and tonify. Here she gives you specific tonifying and nourishing herbs. Dandelion, chickweed, and nettle are 3 good friends who work together to increase urinary output and avoid ease. A dose is 10 to 20 drops of each tincture, repeated every 10 minutes. The bladder. The roots of goldenrod, alone or with nettle roots, make a brew famous for relieving urinary retention. Step 4, stimulate, sedate. Traditional Chinese medicine views retention or difficulty in voiding as a kidney yang deficiency and dysfunction of the triple burner. The TCM formula on page 369 is complicated but effective. And then she goes down here and talks about specific herbs and tinctures and things you can do. And this is a little exercise. Can't go? Run hot water over your hands, or get into a hot bath or shower and squat down. Put your hand above your pubic bone. Lightly push in and down, expelling the urine. Or get on your hands and knees and let gravity help. Step 5, use drugs. Diuretics do work short term. Step 6, break and enter. At least half the time, urinary retention is caused by the use of a nasal congestant or an antihistamine. Stop taking the drug and spontaneous urination returns. A catheter. A plastic tube is passed through the urethra into the bladder to empty it when you can't. An indwelling catheter, often used after pelvic surgery, can easily cause a bladder infection. Protect yourself with cranberries. Help. Urinary retention. Expect results in 2 hours. Take a dropperful of dandelion or parsley root tincture every 20 minutes. sit in a hot bath and relax. She always has one of these little boxes to help you like go straight in to trying to fix your problem on your own. And then if that doesn't work, then you would have to do whatever precautions you would have to do, whether it be catheterization, go to the doctor, or whatever. But basically, guys, this is just a common sense book. There's chapters in here there's so many bladder dysfunctions. She walks you through on how things to do. There's things for cervical problems, vaginal stress, heavy bleeding. The list goes on and on. There's so many different medical conditions that people can get just from, life, stress, infections. She covers everything. Everything is in this book, guys. I don't think there's anything that she hasn't went over. Here it says, down there, The Wise Woman Way. Get the answers to your most intimate questions right here. Filled with beauty, truth, wisdom, and healing. This is written from an MD review. So it's not a bunch of hoodoo. This is a very thorough book that is used by medical doctors, naturopaths for their practices. Dry vagina, incontinence, infertility, cervical issues, endometriosis, hemorrhoids, orgasms, virility, desire, PCOS, UTIs, LUTs, prostate problems, instead of hysterectomy, sex infections, STDs, healing after trauma, chronic pelvic pain, which was what I had. Major. This book helped me on so many levels. Fibroids. Guys, this book is amazing. It says a full range of integrative, alternative, and orthodox options, including herbal, homeopathic, and energy medicines, all fully explained so you can make the very best choices for your health. Entertaining and educating, inspiring, another information-packed resource from Wise Woman Weed. Her love is in every page. Eagle Song Evans Gardner. Okay, guys, I'm not going to read the rest of the reviews, but you get the picture. And this is a great book to have in your library for any type of emergency situation or, illness, sickness that you may have that has to do with a woman's body. So, guys, I hope you enjoy this book review. This is a definitely A++ book. I highly recommend it for people who have experienced prolapses, bladder incontinence, menstrual cycle problems. The list goes on and on. This is an amazing book, and so yeah, A++. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this book review, and go buy this book if you get a chance. I got mine off Amazon, I think. Go looking for used books. This one's a hard one to find in a used book section, because I'll just be honest with you. You get this book and you want to keep it. I loaned this to a friend, and I literally had to keep asking it to get it back, because she kept it for almost a whole year and she didn't want to give it back. So, this is a good one. But one of the things that I've always learned about loaning books out, if you want a book, don't loan it out, because chances are you won't get it back. That's happened to me so many times. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, like, share. And this is an amazing tool book to have in your medicine cabinet. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.